Hi. So for my final synthesis project, I decided to do a video reflection. I kind of thought that was like one of the main components of this semester, and I think I've really kind of overcome, I guess, speaking and like hearing my own voice. So for me, I felt like it was kind of an appropriate choice for my final project. Um, and also, I think for me, it's a little easier to be able to talk about kind of what I've learned. So that's why I chose kind of like a big final reflection, so to speak. So here goes. One of the main, or one of the ideas, it's hard to cover them all, but I'll try to go through as many as I can that really, meant a lot to me and what I'm going to take away from this class. Was now I have more of an open idea of what assistive technology is, and how it can be used in the classroom and just in everyday life. Before this class, I never really realized that, like automatic sinks or like automatic doors were really for people with disabilities. I just, I kind of thought maybe automatic sinks, like, going against, germ control or something. But I mean, it makes so much sense. So I guess just little things like that around my environment I pay more attention to now, which before I didn't, or, wasn't thinking the right way, I guess. Another thing that really meant a lot was I learned a lot of new terms that I've probably never heard before, or if I did, I didn't know what they meant. So thank you for that. Now, if I hear a term in a class, I'll know what they're talking about rather than, wondering. So that's good. Um, I think through this class, I've kind of seen the wonders technology can have for special needs students. Um, it feels like you can see the technologies give students like life again, which, they might not have had. Just really like giving them joy again, which everyone should feel living. So, I think that's really great as far as using technology in your class. And it also like grants them opportunities they might not normally have had as far as like communicating with others or, mobility, things like that. Um, I also thought one of a main thing I kind of took away was as far as like when you're going to pick out what kind of technology to use in your class, kind of stop and ask yourself like how is this different than like the non-technology version, I guess a better way to put it. And if it's really not any different or you're not using it a different way, then don't bother using it. So I feel like from now, like here on out, when I'm, making my future lesson plans, I'm going to stop and ask myself that because normally, I feel like maybe, teachers might be using like PowerPoint or like a smart board in their class, but like that might be all that they're using it for is like taking notes, and they're not like taking the full advantage of say a smart board and using links or like being able to see videos or something like that. So I really like that concept as far as trying to figure out what to include in my lessons. Um, and I also realize that, depending who I get in my class, future class, it might take a lot to adjust my lessons. And I feel now I'm more prepared for that, where before I probably wouldn't have known the first thing to do. I remember during my student teaching, I had like a fill-in note packet, and I handed out to the class, not realizing that one of my students, she was I'm not sure what she had, but she had to use a walker to walk. So I knew it was something as far as like mobility and like being able to like write and things like that. But it didn't occur to me to fill in the blanks for her because, she, not that she couldn't do it, she just couldn't keep up quite as fast as the other students. And my teacher told me like the night before I was going to start my unit that I need to fill this packet out for her. And I just felt so, I guess, dumb that I hadn't thought of that in the first place. So I think now I'm more I guess, considerate, and like I like to think I'm going to notice things like that where before obviously I didn't. I also feel like I learned a variety of sources just by searching the internet. Like something that seems so common sense, just Google search it. But I really have seen the different things you can find just by doing that, as far as like my tech blogs. Which kind of leads me into my next point, which is the importance of collaboration, and like how difficult all like lesson planning and like planning for certain types of students, how hard it would be trying to do it alone. So I really appreciated the technology blogs, and just seeing what other people find, because it's probably something I might not have found on my own. So I really like that. Another point I got from this semester was just the importance of independence, where I feel like I probably took for granted in my childhood and, throughout high school and college and all that. Some students don't have, the advantages like me. I can walk and I can speak fine. Like, I don't have, any disabilities to speak of. And, I just feel bad, but now that I know that these exist and how I can help students, I feel a lot better with that, especially knowing that technology can help them. I remember one of the first videos I saw this semester was of that sip and puff technology, which I'm still fascinated by. Just something so simple hooked up with even more like software and computers can like give students the ability to speak and like be web designers. They completely amaze me. So I think just, having independence, whether it's like, mobility, or trying to read a passage on your own, anything, from like the most simple to the most complex, is just a great thing for students to have, as far as growing and just becoming an adult. So I really appreciated that out of this semester. I also thought technology gives students more of like a level playing field as far as like education goes. Kind of what I've been repeating, as far as them getting, access to things they might not normally have been able to, whether it's, speaking, or, well, like interacting with other students, or, being able to read a passage on the computer without the help of a teacher, things like that. And then video modeling. I really like the idea of that, especially because it's so easy to do now, where, 20 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, it would have been really difficult, because there was, technology was a lot larger and not as easy to, maneuver around the school. So I think that really has something to say, as far as, how often it should be used in the classroom, with the ease